Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another girl talk. Get ready with me. So today I was inspired by an interesting topic, and I also hope it doesn't rain while we're filming. Let's see what the slight chance of rain for the next 6 hours. So we good. Oh my god, it's 77 degrees out. Where's winter Texas? Where? Okay, I took notes because the last like horror story work situation vlog, the girl talk thing, I forgot to tell you guys some super important things, and I was like, what the heck? So we're not gonna do that this time, but it's still probably gonna be a little bit rambly and all over the place because I'm probably gonna remember more things once I start talking about it. It's crazy. Okay, first things first, let me tell you what I got going on in my face. I started using this. I picked this up at the Sephora sale. Everything I can link will be linked down below, you guys. So this is the Paula's Choice C15 Super Booster Vitamin C with vitamin E and ferulic acid. So far so good. One thing I will say about this is it's so liquidy compared to any vitamin C or any real serum that I've ever tried. So I don't apply it to my actual hands, and I know I used to cringe at the girls who like dropped it on their face, but I do, because if I don't, I waste so much product and it just slides all down my wrist. So I love this stuff, but the consistency is very thin, but overall super good. My skin might seem a bit like dry or whatnot, but it's definitely glowy. I've used the Ordinary AHA peeling solution thing, whatever, twice this week because I'm trying to like use it consistently and notice if it lightens any of my dark spots. Nonetheless, someone asked me in the comments, and I need to comment back to her. She asked me if I've noticed vitamin C really lightens my spots. And I will say, I don't think that's what vitamin C is necessarily meant to do. I think it's just to help not make any more darker and kind of give you an even skin tone, but it's not gonna just like brighten all your dark spots. Like, it's meant to stop melanin from being produced within your skin to make them darker, or to give you spots that you don't already have. So you have to use something else like retinol or AHAs, lactic acid, whatever, to exfoliate and hopefully remove them. But I don't know, I'm not an expert, clearly. But that's my thought process on vitamin C. My eye cream, my Kiehl's Creamy Avocado Eye Cream. I don't know if they're still doing a sale, but if they are, I'll find one and I'll link it for you. And then my LMS Day Cream. This stuff is so insanely pricey, and I have just a little bit left because Scott is obsessed with it too. The Pro Collagen Marine Cream, Anti-Wrinkle Day Cream. Love this. I literally just use it during the day, but it is beautiful. Pairs beautifully under makeup. Absolutely love it. And then since I am using a foundation that does not have SPF in it, going in with my Tula, this is my second one of this. I absolutely love this SPF. I started using more. I finally got onto a routine of using sunscreen every single day, you guys, twice a day sometimes. If I like went to the gym and then got ready and put my makeup on. But I finally have gotten to a system where I literally don't even think, I just put it on no matter what. And so now I started upping it. So I used to just do like 2 fingers, and now I'm at like 3 fingers. I like stripe the 3 fingers and smear it all over my face, especially if I'm going outside. The more, the better. You can go light with a lot of skincare, but not SPF. I'm obsessed with this. Yeah. I could go on and on. Y'all know. I have a coupon code listed down below for them always. So yeah, check out the description bar. I got my coffee. I got my water. And we're gonna get into this story time. So if you watched my previous story time, it was a work one. If not, I'll link it down below. But this is gonna kind of be an insane horror story. So this is sparked by there was this documentary I watched on, or I honestly watch so many murder mystery shows that I have no idea what I watch anymore, like not the slightest idea. So I can't even find it. I tried to look for it, couldn't find it. Basically, it happened in Houston, and it was this girl. She worked for American Eagle, and there was a theft that happened in the store right around, I think it was on Black Friday, or maybe it happened before Black Friday and then happened again on Black Friday, okay? And the person who did it, the girl and the guy who did it, actually like went to her house and murdered her for tattling on her for stealing it, right? Okay, so all of that happens and I'm like, oh my God, literally that same thing happened to me. While I was watching that show, I was like, that could have been me. That is so scary. I tell Scott, he's like, yeah, but it wasn't you and you're still alive. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly you don't understand that I was in a grave danger. And now that I think about it, like, I'm really upset with how my company handled it, or lack of handled it, but let's just get into the details, shall we? Okay. So I am gonna mention companies and things like that. I'm going to not mention names just because, yeah, I'm still kind of scared about it. But I was working for Abercrombie. I had just left Japan and moved back to Dallas. And I don't know if I think I explained my trip and like how I reacclimated back. It was a terrible reacclimation back into America from Japan. Like they did such a good job at acclimating you from moving from America to Japan because, you know, they had a lot on the line, right? Like they, you know, spending a ton of money on you, they don't want you to fail. So I think they spent more time prepping you and making sure, like doing temperature checks when you're in Japan. And then as soon as you get back, they were like, oh, we're gonna do the same thing, like reculture you back into America, because it's a real life thing if you've not experienced it. And they didn't. And I was like going through it, stressed, finding a house or finding a place to live, like it was everything. So anyways, and I get put at this store. And I was told that it was August, okay, end of August. I started though in September because I was like, using some of my vacation time to kind of like figure things out, get situated, like acclimate, figure out grocery situations, cars, I had to get a new car, all those things, okay? And so, I started in August and I was GM, okay? I got put at a store that had a store manager and I was told that by February I should be, you know, promoted to DM, but that was just like I was being put in the meantime because I was already a general manager. Hey, nonetheless, start in September right after like back to school, tax-free week, whatever, and my store manager within like a week or two, like started just like leaving at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like just such a weird, shady thing. Like she just didn't actually work. And I don't know, it was weird. Obviously I called her out on it. I was like, what in the world is going on? And she quit. So that was fun. That was like, oh my God, what the heck? So lost one manager, right? And I had one other one, and then the stock lead person was what is now called a key holder. Okay, so that's a little bit of backstory. So I move here in August, start in September, and my manager quits in September. We hired 2 new managers like ASAP. Like that's my main focus, right? Because we are getting ready to go into the holidays, and this is one of the busier malls. It's not one of the nicer malls in Dallas, but it's one of the busier malls, okay? And so it's Galleria, by the way, it doesn't really matter. So we hired 2 new managers, stat. One of them was from Victoria's Secret in that same mall. And I didn't hire her as a manager, I hired her as a key holder, which is like management position, like they open and close the store. So it's very similar to me in my mind because I had never heard of that position. I was like, she's basically a manager. She manages people, I'm not there, da-da-da. Okay, but you don't have to have a college degree. There's some different things that you don't have to have, okay? And so we hire her and, you know, things are going good. She seems super outgoing. Yada, yada, yada. I think I actually hired her as like just an employee at first, and then I promoted her into a key holder because things were going really well and she showed like a lot of promise, okay? But all of this was like insanely rushed because, you know, we are gearing up for the holidays. So then a little bit later, I'm sorry, I'm like trying to remember this stuff. I'm just gonna start going a little bit quicker, okay? Sorry. We hire another manager and he is like what I think of as perfect. Like he just has been in retail for his whole life. He's super outgoing. He's just like a ton of fun. But I did get a weird feeling from him, I'm not gonna lie. And this is like your sign to trust gut feelings, right? So I got a weird feeling from him, but whatever, it is what it is. I hired him in as a assistant manager. I believe, yes, I believe he was an assistant manager and not a key holder. Okay, so he's in, and then things start going crazy. Okay, so money starts going missing. This is when I'm informed that in fact there are no cameras, which I had never been told that there were no cameras before, and I'm just like, what in the actual heck? I've never worked at a store for this company where there were no cameras. So I was like, can we put some in? Like, what in the heck is going on? And so there was money missing. There's kind of always been issues. This was a huge loss prevention like store. Like I was constantly being like tested on my loss prevention procedures because it was just a disaster, right? So things are not good. Like there's money missing from the cash register every single night. And then one night at like 10 p.m. it was like, I don't know, I'm like getting ready for bed and I get this call from two associates saying they had to call the police. There was a huge fight between so-and-so and someone's mom, and it was just like, what in the heck? And it was the girl I hired from Victoria's Secret was fighting with this guy who'd been an employee for ever, like ever, and he's difficult, but he wasn't an issue. Like he just, yeah, it was a problem. I think he wanted that position nonetheless. Her mom got there was physical violence involved, and I was scared, y'all. And I like called my manager, and she was just like unfazed and just like, why are you calling me this ridiculous? And I remember just being like, is this normal? Like what in the world is going on? Like, I don't know how to handle this. And she was like, you're not focusing on the right thing. You're focusing on, you know, like don't even pay any attention to them. And I'm like, they physically violated, both of them physically altercated, physically inflicted wounds on other people. Like this is an issue. How are we not agreeing with that? But anyways, so that happened. Both of them got suspended for like a couple weeks. I think that was the solution that my management helped me come to, like my upper management, like that is what we agreed upon, because I had very little control in terms of HR. Like I had to go through the process of everything. And so that happened, like, I wanna say in like November, or like beginning of November, end of September. And then it gets real crazy, okay? So all this happens, they come back, they've agreed to yada, 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 because I can't fire either one of them. If I don't fire both of them, I wasn't there were no cameras to prove who did what, statements were taken, it was nuts, okay? So now, fast forward to, there's still money being stolen out of the register, but it's too small that they don't really care. Okay, so now Black Friday happens, right? No. This was, oh my God, okay, it's all coming back to me. Before Black Friday happens, $17,000 gets stolen out of the cash register. Yes, $17,000, okay? And, or was this Black Friday? Yes, $17,000 gets stolen. Oh my God, I'm literally coming to all of, I'm trying to remember all this. Okay, $17,000 gets stolen out of cash register. Like, we are trying to figure out who did it, have no idea, you know, are convinced that it could be this one girl. And then the manager who I hired him was from Houston. He said one day, like after all this happened, is like, or maybe the next day was like, oh yeah, this actually happened before Black Friday. Okay, I wish I had my story correct. We're gonna get there. This happened before Black Friday, $17,000 got stolen out of the register. We had like a huge sale, so there was a lot of money, okay? And then he literally ghosts me for like 2 weeks, just says that he got into a car accident, and I'm like, okay, are you coming back to work? Like, you're not. He's like, I'm in Houston, I don't have a car, and I'm like, okay. And so he sends me pictures of his car, And then miraculously the day before Black Friday, I'm like blowing him up. Are you gonna show up? Like, we need management cover, like da 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 da. And they're still investigating the $17,000. At this point, we didn't really think it was him, but I had an inkling in my brain. Like, I was just like, something is not right. He just disappears, da da da. All right, so he comes back the day before Black Friday, and I have my girl key holder that I hired from Victoria's Secret. She's closing the store on that day, right? He shows up at the store, even though I told him not to show up. And the two of them, I'm imagining it was the two of them, stole another like $20,000. And it was a whole thing because there was setups along the whole way. And this is what weirds me out and like really throws my like, I don't know. Okay, so I was getting texts who I thought, because it was a home office number, and you know a home office number because it comes from Ohio, it's a specific number. I just know, right? From my boss's boss, who I was getting closer with because, you know, there were times where I was like, this is just not working for me. And he was like, can you just please hold off? Like, we have big plans for you, da da da. And so we had talked on the phone a couple times before, but never on my personal cell phone. He would call the store phone. Okay. So someone on his, like, who I thought was him, was texting me about things that I only thought he would know, so I legitimately thought it was him, about like management, about like where I wanted to go in the future, like just different things. And turns out it was a fake number because they researched the number that he had created, that was actually created under that guy, who I hired in the key holder. His girlfriend's was the one that created it. Okay, craziness, okay? So all this is happening is he's like behind the scenes kind of like messing with me and then stealing a bunch of money. And says that I get this call being like, this person is at the store, Kelly, he's at the store. Like, why is he at the store? And I'm just like, he shouldn't be at the store. What do you mean he's at the store? And everyone's like freaking out because we thought he was just gone. Like, we didn't know he was gonna show up again because he just stopped returning my phone calls, da da da. He shows up at the store and they said, and the girl who I hired, she was like, oh, well, Nick, or, oh, well, so-and-so, my boss's boss called. I should come up with names for all these people, but clearly I didn't. Called and said he was to come and close the store. And I was like, he would not have done that. He would not have done that. Like, that's not true. And so I called my boss and she's like, what the heck are you talking about? And I'm like, he's at the store, da da da. Okay, so him and that girl are at the store together. I believe that they are stealing money. He's faking this whole thing saying like, so-and-so called the store to say he should close the store. It's just a hot mess, okay? He's blowing up my phone now because I'm like, don't let him in the store. And they're like, he already got in, he has keys. I didn't rekey the store. I call the police, they show up at the store. At this point, all of the money is gone out of the registers. All of it besides like, okay. Then, okay, so I'm like, what in the world is my life? Like, how is all this money gone? Like, what, I don't know, okay? But let me like let me go back because I'm like all over the place, you guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, before that, they thought it was him and they were like, well, do you want to fire him because then you'll have no managers for Black Friday? I'm like, he just already stole $17,000. And you're asking me if you think we should fire him because we have no other people to run the store. Like, what that was the brain, that was their thought process behind this. This was my loss prevention person and then my regional loss prevention person. Both were saying that. Like, you sure you want, and I'm like, huh? Am I living in like this, like, crazy world that you guys are living in? Like, yes, we need to fire him. I don't care if I have to run the store by my freaking self. Like, I'm not having this person in here continuing to steal money. Like, I don't know why that's still a question. Okay, so anyways, he just like steals a bunch more money on Black Friday after, you know, claiming that my boss's boss told him to come into the store and that's what he told all the employees, and then they called me and it was a disaster. I called the police. He left by the time I even got there, even though I lived like 5 minutes away. So he stole all the money and left. Well, that was when I was like, this guy's like, this is nuts. Like, what is happening? I feel very scared because he kept calling me and leaving me harassing voicemails and all this craziness. And that's when we started really looking into who he was as a person. Okay, so he gave us a fake social security number, which is why his paperwork was not going through at first. Like, we were like, what the heck? Why can we not find a background check on him? And like all of this stuff. And they just were in such a rush that they like pushed it through, which is absolutely terrible, because if they had, they would have realized that he has a huge background of stealing in Houston at American Eagle and Forever 21. As a manager, he was caught doing that. And so he knew exactly what he was doing when he was doing it. He applied for the job right before the holidays and then stole all the money and left, okay? So I don't even think he really lived in Dallas. I don't know. And so yes, he provided a fake social security number. He provided, he was calling me on fake numbers, harassing me, like completely doing just like insane things. I don't know if y'all are even gonna be able to understand any of this story. I should have given them names at the beginning, but I'm so bad at it that I get caught up in the story and I actually say their real names. So I should have done that. But nonetheless, I believe that the key holder girl that I hired from Victoria's Secret, let's say her name was Susie, I believe that she was in cahoots with the guy who I hired, who was named, let's say, Frank, okay? But Frank was the mastermind behind it all, and I believe that he convinced Susie to help him play out this deal. But I mean, neither one of them were saints, because they came in and just completely blew up my life. Like, I had never experienced anything like this before, and I don't think I ever will experience anything like that again. Like, it was just craziness, and I can't believe that the company that I worked for was like, and I mean, I had so many great years. I think it was just poor management during that time, and there was really not much that I could do, but their solution was like, do you really want to fire him? Who's gonna run the store? And I'm like, my freaking dog could do a better job at running the store than this person could. Clearly, he's stealing money. Of course I want him gone. But anyways, the moral of the story is I didn't realize how, and then, hold on. Then like 2 days later, I see him in the mall going and applying next door at Foot Locker. Yes, at Foot Locker. And obviously I'm not allowed to like go over there and say like, do not hire this guy because he just stole from us, because we have no cameras, no proof, so we can't do that, so it's defamation of character. But I felt super scared, super like, just in danger for my whole life. And because it was like, what the heck? I think I quit in like January or something. I want to say I quit in January. It was a mess, or maybe I quit in February. I didn't even want to get promoted at that point. They were like, literally, you're getting promoted. And I'm like, I don't even want to, I can't even be part of this anymore. Like, I can't. Like, this is so horrible, horribly wrong. There was no safety, no anything. And I remember just like, when I watched that show, I was like, holy crap, that could have been me. Like, he knew where, like, he had access to all of the information on the computer that I had. Like, so he had access to where I lived. He like clearly was psycho enough to make fake numbers and text me thinking that I was his boss, or like pretending that he was my boss's boss. Like, it was to a next level that I've never experienced with someone before. And it really, and now I like feel slightly bad because, hold on. Because I'm always like to those girls that get like, you know, duped by these guys like Dirty John or whatever. I'm like, how did you not notice, right? But it's like, this guy at first seemed completely normal, but I had my feelings right from the beginning that he was just not, he was not a good person. And I should have called it out sooner, but honestly, thinking about it, they probably would have done nothing different, because even when I was like, he stole in total probably over 50 grand. When he stole the 17 grand the first time, I was like, they literally were like, are you sure you want to fire him though? Because like, you have no one else. And I'm like, yes, I'm sure. And also like, I don't want like to be in this store anymore with 0 cameras. This is nuts. So yeah, it was a really scary situation, I'm not gonna lie. And it was a whirlwind of like, hey, welcome back to America. Here is just the craziest situation that you could have ever experienced. Here it is. And I just was like, what am I doing? Why am I still here? Why am I putting myself through this? I feel like I don't know. I definitely was not vlogging around this time when I was going through those experiences. But it was a rough one. And I know retail can be looked at as not like a super serious job or whatever, but I always loved working retail. I loved working for Abercrombie. I just had a really bad experience, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want this to come across as like don't work for them, because to be honest with you, I've worked at multiple other stores, and none of this happened. I think it was this location that was really poor management, and it might not even be managed by the same people anymore. Besides sharing my story of that craziness, it also just I wanted to use it as an opportunity to like shed light on the fact that like money makes people do really terrible things, especially around the holidays. I think it can get amped up, theft, and violence and all of this. So just make sure you're being really careful, especially in a retail situation. If things like this are happening, talk about it, because I mean, I'm just really thankful that that didn't happen to me, because it was literally the exact same situation. Like, she spoke up and was like, that's the person who did it. They had cameras to prove it, but they turned around and stalked her and murdered her in her own apartment. Like, that could be anybody. That could have been my, you know, situation. And I always get mascara everywhere. But I just wanted it as like, I wanted to use it as a way to share my story, but also like, if you ever find yourself in a situation like that, to get the right partners or get the heck out of there. If your company is not showing you the support that you need in a time like that, get the heck out of there. It's not the right company. A complete and utter nightmare. And probably had my experience not gone that way, honestly, you guys, I probably wouldn't have left, because I loved working for that company. But that's another thing. It goes to show, it's like, it's not the company, or it's not the company you work for, it's the people you work for. And if you have really terrible people that you work for, then odds are they're gonna leave, you're gonna leave, whatever. So I hope that story was not insanely confusing. Basically, moral of the story is Frank duped us all with a fake social security number, fake phone numbers that he was calling me on and acting like he was upper management. Fake car accident, stole over 50 grand worth of money. Susie got into a physical altercation with another person and her mom, and I believe was in coercion with Frank. Like, what is my life? Now that I really think about it, I'm like, I remember all of this. Okay. So that is everything. That is my girl talk story time. If you like seeing these, let me know. I'm constantly reminded how I have more like weird stories. I also have some weird like YouTube stalker stories too that I could share that were kind of scary. So yeah, if you like story times that go with my girl talks, let me know. I make these videos because I think that a lot of you who watch them really connect, whether it's a topic about holiday sadness, my mom, whatever the case may be. I think it's a fun way to just like connect with you guys on a different level. So I want you guys to let me know what you want to see more of, whether it's story times, random topics, let me know. But I will see you guys all in my next video.